We are live. This is the Comment Hall and Roundtable discussion. It is the solo edition of the Comment Hall and Roundtable discussion. I am Matt Odom, and hopefully, one of the other guys will be joining shortly. If not, I'm going to go ahead and just jump straight into tonight's topic, so that way we don't keep you long. Tonight's topic, the main event, was actually going to be discussing what we talked about last week. So before I get ready to get cranked up into that, I want to say good evening to everybody. Make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Make sure that you are subscribed to us on Instagram as well. And I will go ahead and throw a spoiler alert out there for everyone who's watching. Um, if you have not watched the most recent episode of Wandavision, I'm going to let you hop off so that you don't get spoiled, because this is going to be a nice, long, solo, lengthy rant. Hopefully, Al hops on. If not, it is what it is. But I'm gonna go ahead and get down to business. Last week, matter of fact, I'll do you one even better. I'm gonna go find last week's show while I'm talking, and pull this up so that y'all can see what we talked about. Let me see if I can find it here. Let's bear with me, because I want you all to see what it was last week when I told everybody. I said that you have to be patient, and I'm fine. I've got it queued up in my ear here. But I told people last week. I said this show was designed to lead us into the next phase of the Marvel universe. I want to give a shout out to Will Smallwood who joined in here. Said Jones, yeah, crybabies. Yeah, exactly, crybabies. You know, we uh we all got mutual friends. I've got friends that's in other chat rooms, and they were all saying the same thing. They were saying this show was the worst show. I've even seen articles where people were saying that this show was the worst ever, the worst Marvel show. It's bad. You know, this WandaVision is is rough. And I've actually went back and tried to find some of these articles. I'm scrolling out, and they've taken them down. And they've taken those down because they know that they jumped the gun. There's a lot of people that jumped the gun. There's a lot of people that will not come back out and say, "Hey, we were wrong. We shouldn't have did this." You know, people are so quick because we've been spoiled by Marvel. Spoiled. Now, everyone who watches this show knows that mostly all of us on the panel watches DC shows. So we tend to know what it's like to suffer, and having to be patient. So when we watch a show like WandaVision, we understand that, hey, you got to start from somewhere, and then you've got to build your way through. But the abject ass whooping that this show took over the last week and a half, last 2 weeks rather. Well, what is it? 3 weeks? What we episode? What are we? 4, 5, 7? Where we? I can't remember. I think we episode 4. I can't remember now. Yeah, episode 4. So the last 4 weeks, it's been crazy. It's been something I was not expecting this. But you know, I told people that we were going to get somewhere. And so when we watched the last episode, you saw clearly what we said in episode when we talked about episodes 1 and 2. That clearly this was all in her head. We saw it play out in real time. And so now what you've got is you've got a section of people who, I was in the store yesterday, and now they've gone from, oh, I don't like the show, to now we've gone to spectating. Now the speculation crew is out. Now it's House of M. Now it's this and that and this, some or nothing. And so now we've got to deal with that. So now I can go ahead and put this out there for all y'all in the chat. I'll go ahead and tell y'all right now. Get ready for these books to go out of the roof. Anything that's tied to Secret Invasion, anything that's tied to the Fantastic Four, anything that's tied to X-Men, all this stuff is about to go out of the roof. It's about to get absolutely stone crazy. Says you have to let people tell a story that they want to tell the way they want to tell it. Well, let me tell you something, man. Most people don't have that patience anymore. Because like I said earlier, Marvel has spoiled the majority of the fan base. And what you've got is you've got a section of the fan base who understands this understands the narrative. It's kind of like when you talk to, for those who are in the chat, are Star Trek fans. With Star Trek, you just can't go just run in and do stuff. You have to take your time. Everything that Star Trek does, it takes time to get to it. It takes time. It's a slow burn. Star Trek is a slow burn. Star Wars used to be a slow burn, but it's kind of like one of those run out of the gate deals now. But with Star Trek, it takes time to get to every facet of the story. Well, it's no different with that than what we have here with Marvel in this new MCU. It's going to take time, whether you like it or not. And I'm praying that I'm here to see the end of it play out. But it's going to take time, whether people like it or not. And they're going to have to understand. And I keep telling people, if you don't know what's going on, there's trade paperbacks out that you can go pick up. A lot of these books that this coincides with is in the dollar bin. But these are the same. Like I said, we've got a lot of casuals who are watching this show, or watching WandaVision rather, and they are not taking their time trying to understand what's going on. And so what happens is they just get frustrated. They get really frustrated because a lot of these people don't say it and will. What y'all gotta understand is, and everybody else in the chat, shout out if you in the chat, shout yourself out. What we have is we have people who don't normally even pay attention to this stuff. I've got personal friends who don't even watch this. I know they don't watch this stuff. And then they're speaking on it. You know, and then they look silly. Like what happened this past week. Wandavision this week embarrassed a lot of folks. There was a lot of crickets on that message board. So some of these guys know exactly what I'm referring to in some of the chats I'm in. It was crickets. Because they made a fool out of themselves. And I told you on last week's episode, I said that business was about to pick up. All I needed to see was Monica Rambeau get thrown back to reality. Is what I said, oh, okay, well, I know exactly what's going to happen now. And literally, it played itself out. We had cameos this week in the show. We had people who we hadn't seen it since other movies show up, which clearly lets me know they even made reference to the vanishings from Endgame. All that stuff was referenced. So it lets us know that, oh, we're in present day. You saw just about everything that you could possibly see. And people are whining and moaning about nothing. I was more pissed that this week's episode ended the way it did because it left me on the cliffhanger. You know, it's been a while since I've been left on the cliffhanger in the 30 minutes. And I'm pretty sure, you know, I talked to Larry yesterday, and Larry was like, hey, man, you know, a lot of these people probably complain if it was an hour long, you know. And so, you know, with that happening, X, what's going on, brother? Welcome. I can't hear you, brother.
Can you hear me now?
You in there, brother. You in there now, dog. Have you had a chance to watch WandaVision, man?
Yeah, I watched it.
You watched it? What you think about it? The episode was off the chain, man. That was probably the best episode of the season.
So I enjoyed it the most out of all of them, but it's gonna sound crazy when I say this. It's not hard to be the quote unquote best because every episode has gotten better. You know what I mean? Um, this is definitely hands down the episode that we needed to tie all of the other episodes together. You know what I'm saying? Um, with everything that they mentioned in this episode, how everything just it made so much sense, and it actually confirmed everything that we had been saying leading up to this. So I really enjoyed it. I did like it. I like the twist. I'm glad they brought Marcy in, because I think she gonna end up being the star of the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think one of the I talked to Al earlier today, and I told him, I said, it was refreshing to say I have to finally come out and say I told you so,
Yeah.
because we said this last week. We didn't know. I didn't think it was going to be this quick that we would get from last
Right.
week to this. But when I watched the show yesterday, I said, oh, we called all this last week.
Yeah.
So put that on the list of things that we normally call. We call all these Marvel comic books, all these speculation books. We've called it. We call all this stuff because we're invested in this. The problem. Go ahead, X. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's funny is all of this that happened in this episode. Everybody's saying they need more action, they need more action, they need more action, blah 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 blah. Need to speed up. There really wasn't no action in it. It was just a good story.
It's just a good storyline, exactly.
If all people had to do, and I'm one of them. I even said on the show that I said it's not that I didn't like the first two episodes. I just didn't like the episode. I didn't like the sitcoms that they were using. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then once we got to the Brady Bunch episode, I mean, it was better. And then we got this episode that really wasn't tied to any kind of sitcom, but it tied everything in. So I really enjoyed it. And like I said, it was minimum action.
Yeah, what I liked most about the last episode was how they broke everything down. Is like when they were talking about how she made her life a sitcom, and how they actually started watching the show like it was TV,
right?
Which was funny, So clearly, if you understand how the MCU works, this is leading up to something extremely big. Well, what we'll do, I think we're going to get like what it is right out of the gate. Now we'll probably get by the time we get to the last episode, it'll be a taste. Whatever's at the end will only be a taste.
All right.
I personally think each of the Marvel TV shows that's coming out will all have a piece that will lead up to whatever Marvel is planning to do. That's just my personal thoughts. But I will say this. Folks need to stop speaking on stuff they don't understand and speaking eloquently, like as if they know.
Right.
As if they have been reading Marvel books for 20 to 30 years. As if they are Rhodes Scholars to Marvel comic books. And it's the casual. It's just like in hardcore gaming. It's the casual that would drive you crazy.
Yeah.
The casual gamer would drive you crazy. It's the same thing in comic books. The casual.
It's like they're like when you playing somebody in a fighting game.
Yeah.
They are the button mashers.
Yep.
And it's hard to find a counter to a button masher because there's no rhyme or reason. It's like Taskmaster having a hard time fighting against Deadpool because there's no pattern. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's the same type scenario with a lot of the people. I'm not gonna say all, but a lot of the people that keep speaking out on this and have no general understanding of what's going on, and then they're not taking the show on like face value. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like this show is like, it's literally like if you go back and watch all of the old Agents of Shield episode or seasons, it's leading up to different parts of the MCU, and this is doing it just at a different pace. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And it's 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 something that we haven't seen before outside of Agent Coulson in it, because we have Wanda and Vision in this, so it's directly tied into it.
Yep.
So if people just kind of just back off and let Kevin Feige do what he does, you know what I'm saying, and everything will be all right.
So, I told you I'm gonna rub it in folks' face tonight. So I went back. I was sitting here listening to you. I had to go. Was doing it in my ear.
Hmm.
But this is last week's show.
There's no audio.
Can you hear it?
No, it's no audio.
All right, hold on a second. Let me get this situated here. Y'all bear with me here. Y'all bear with me. It might be because it's on my end. Hold on here. I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna come back. Let me see here. Share audio. Y'all bear with us, y'all. Y'all bear with us. Let's see here. All right, extra. Let's see. What about this here?
We knew this
Can you get that? You get anything on that?
It hasn't done anything yet.
going in where they were starting with those sitcom
There we go.
parodies, the homages. I knew right from the fact that we wasn't getting no action at the start. So come on, man. That shit is gonna build up to something.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, when you see the show, man, clearly something get ready to go.
And Remo just said it right there. Just think, in the Mouth of Madness, the John Carpenter movie and WandaVision will make sense. If you put those two together, because reality, you in this fixationist world in the Mouth of Madness, but it actually has real sensibility.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just like Pleasantville. Yeah.
Yeah, and we all know, fellas, that this thing is going to tie into something that's much bigger than what it is. Because it's, I mean,
and it's going to lead to Doctor Strange, so we got to see how it's going to.
I said we got, hell, that could even be him talking.
I just hate that it's only 30 minutes though, because when it does pick up and we start getting that holy shit, as soon as it's like as soon as it starts, it's over, and we got to wait another week for it. You know what I mean?
Right as it gets good, it's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's one big gripe that I have with it.
Yeah, that 30 minutes is rough, but some folk be going, that's an hour. I have to sit through an hour of this. Oh my god.
Hey, if it was an hour, we might complain about.
Yeah,
we might complain if it's too long, because then he's like, all right.
Yeah.
For the pacing of it right now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So we've got a couple of other shows. What's next on the docket, y'all? We got
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Is that next?
Yeah, I think that is the next show.
But basically, we told y'all last week. This was gonna happen. We told y'all, which is why I said the name of the show is "We Told You So." You got to understand, man. It's gonna take time. Enjoy it. I think Brock said this a couple of weeks ago. We would have killed back in the day to have something like this and not have it ripped wide open, like, we had to deal with, shit shows back in the day. Stuff that had to be rushed and it couldn't be planned accordingly, So we've got a good show here and we're going to enjoy it. Take your time. As I said last week, just fucking chill out. Just cool it. Just cool it, man. The show is good. People are enjoying it. True comic book fans are enjoying it. And there it is. Yep. just cool it, man. Just cool it. It's a good product. I just hope that Marvel puts, one show somewhere is going to drop the ball. We already know that. We have, Captain Marvel. It's going to drop the ball. Somebody's going to drop the ball somewhere. And, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, it all leads up to something that's for the collective good.
Well, this is one thing there's yet to be one single series in the history of mankind where every single episode appeased every single viewer. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill out, let nature take its course, and wait to the end of it to then give these long, drawn out what thesis and whatnot on it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You sit here talk about something that you know nothing about, and then harp on it like you're the be all end all and have no clue of what you're talking about. Let it pan out. See what's happening. When you start cooking, it ain't gonna taste right off the bat. You gotta sit there and let it go. You gotta let it simmer. You gotta let it do whatever you gotta do, and then the end result is gonna be something amazing. You know.
Yep.
And if it ain't, hey, you learn from it. You learn from your mistakes. Scratch that. I won't do that again. I know which route to go on this next recipe.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's just baffling.
All right, so tonight's probably gonna be a short show because it's me and you on the panel. So we're gonna go ahead and move to.
Well, Chris said he gonna be on in a moment.
Okay, all right, Chris is coming on. All right, so
Yeah.
what I'll do is I'll go forward and then we'll come back. We'll take 2 steps forward and we'll come back.
Bet.
Wonder Woman, 1984. There's something good that came out of that, believe it or not. HBO hit the 41 million subscriber mark. Now, I'm gonna go back again. This is why I titled the show "We Told You So." About 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago, I don't know if you remember this, X. We sat right here on this panel, and we said that properties should be coming to these streaming services.
Yeah.
If they want to generate income.
Yeah.
HBO apparently got the memo. Somebody from HBO's marketing team was watching us.
Hell, we said it this year. Well,
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, 2020. Yeah, last year, rather. And we've said it, and now it's been proven. Everything doesn't necessarily. It's cool. Some stuff hits the big screen, but every once in a while, treat your subscribers. People are paying what is it, 14, 18, whatever it is for HBO Max.
If you got honestly, I can't remember. I want to say it's like $14 a month.
Okay.
Or they have the bundle where you can do it for the year. But if you got HBO through Cox, Spectrum, Comcast, Dish, Direct, whoever, it's included.
So I mean, you're paying $14 in a pandemic. You know, treat your subscribers to something good, man, and it paid off for them. And I'm glad. I'm actually glad the movie stopped. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not. I'm not changing my analysis of that movie. The movie still was a shit show.
Nor should you.
Yeah, it was a shit show, warmed up in a hot oven. But the fact that it was able to garner the numbers that it did proves that it was good. So while we're on that, I'm going to stay on HBO. And Zack Snyder's Justice League cut is supposed to be 4 hours.
I'm just ready
For 4
for.
hours of what? And I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna watch it so I can rip its ass open too.
Well, my thing is, I really just wanted to come and go. So, you know, if it's good and it's great as everybody's making it out to be, great, good. That's something that we should have had to start off with anyway.
Boom.
But if it's bad, at least we got this shit out of the way. You know, we can move forward. If it's bad, we don't need to see Jared Leto's extra 15 minutes of damn cackling and shit. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. I still think they should have did 6-hour-long episodes.
Look, I really just got the shit right from the start. Personally, in retrospect, X, I wish they wouldn't even release the movie. We should have got solo movies from all these characters first. They should have tied all that shit in. DC and Warner Brothers went ass backwards.
Yeah,
and then I talked to TC last 2 weeks ago, either last Sunday or Sunday before. But he told me, he said, "Hey man, you know they're bringing Trevor back for the third one, right?" I said, "Oh." He said, "Yeah." He said, "You know how they're gonna do it?" I said, "No." He said, "They're gonna use the Flash." I just started laughing.
Well, At least that'll make more sense than this bullshit wish that we got.
This is true, but the thing about it to me is I just wish that they would have established the Flash first.
Well, we all wish that.
Yeah, and that's my thing, is that it proves the point that once again this was done all completely wrong, and it's like they're still ripping stuff to try to fix something, but you still realize that it's still messed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
By this time, shit, if they would have followed the right path, hell, we could have had a true Justice League by now. We would have been introduced to everybody. We could have had multiple instead of it just being Wonder Woman to have a sequel. We could have had Man of Steel would have had a true sequel. We could have had at least one or two Batman movies that were in this in this continuity. We could have had a Green Lantern or a Green Lantern Corps movie. Flash, we could have had a Cyborg, we could have had everything. It could have led up to the Trinity, it could have led up to Justice League. We could have had Teen Titans in there, you know, we could have had Young Justice in there if we wanted to. It's just so many different avenues that we could have had if they would have just took the time and put something out that needed to be done the proper way.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't bring out Justice League and then go back and have Aquaman, which was a good movie.
Yep.
But how the hell is he the king of Atlantis in Justice League, and he hadn't even became the king of Atlantis in Aquaman that took place afterwards? You know what I'm saying? Wonder Woman, hell, she can fly, then can't fly. You know, she's. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why you bring all this shit out?
DC mystifies the mind. I'm telling you, DC and Warner Brothers mystifies the mind sometimes with me. I'm just like, man, how do y'all, like I said here, you have the blueprint, but then you find a way to bite it up. I've never seen, outside of the Atlanta, what's up, Chris? Outside of the Atlanta Falcons, I've never seen somebody specialize in failure like this.
Okay, hold on.
I've never seen.
It's the truth.
Hold on.
What was the score at half?
It was 28-3. I know. 28-3.
Falcons aside.
Oh.
Falcons aside. First off, a lot of people like to say, like Cedric is saying, that Marvel gave DC the blueprint. But here's the thing. Marvel and DC have always been different. If all the DC movies came out and followed the exact same blueprint of the Marvel movies, what would be the point of there being two different companies making two different sets of comic book movies that were exactly the same? That aside, Zack Snyder sucks ass.
That we can all agree on.
So first and foremost, I feel like people need to, one, not entirely lay the blame at Warner Brothers, but lay the blame at Zack Snyder. Because if you look at his filmography, if you look at the movies that Zack Snyder has made, Zack Snyder does not know how to tell a story if there are multiple stories already established about a character. He don't know how to do it. Watchmen was a great movie, but Watchmen only has one piece of source material. He ain't got nothing to fuck up.
Well, he did mess up one thing.
Well, I mean, yeah, Dr. Manhattan had a blue dick hanging around in the movie.
No, I ain't even talking about that. the taking away the squid.
Well, that also,
like it made sense to a certain degree, but that's like the most pivotal part. And then what happened? Like HBO came out with Watchmen series and picked right up from the book instead of the movie. So yeah,
right. Dude wrote 9 episodes of a story and did an amazing job. But Zack Snyder is a one-trick pony, much like Tim Burton, who only knows how to do one type of movie. He only knows how to do dark and gritty. And so long as that movie only has one piece of source material, 300, amazing movie. But again, one piece of source material. He can't mess it up. Watchmen, one piece of source material. If you watch Batman versus Superman, he mixed in the death of Superman, Batman Nightfall, and at least 2 other stories into one movie, and then he cut out 30 minutes of the movie that would have made it make sense.
Yeah, Dark Knight Returns, all
Dark
that.
Knight, right? He wrote in. He grabbed. I'm gonna take it. He basically went to the Warner Brothers story buffet, and was like, I want a little bit of this, and I want a little bit of this, and then I'm gonna put it all on my plate. And when it gives me an upset stomach, then that's just what I got to live with, because that's what I chose to make. But then he also fed the fans when fans were like, "Oh, Josh Whedon messed up the movie because he didn't give us Zack Snyder's vision," which is whatever. But he kept fanning the flames. Whenever it would die down, he would come out and be like, "Hey, here's a piece of artwork from behind the scenes of my movie."
Well, I feel you on that, but at the same time, you got these cats like Ray Fisher,
Man,
who came out and said the same thing. Now, I know I hate to use him because I don't know what the hell he doing with himself.
Fucking like,
shut up and take this money.
He apparently done acting. That's what he's done. That's what
apparently. But like when everybody started saying the same thing, that's when I started believing it. Because even Jason Momoa said this was not what it was supposed to be. Gal Gadot even said it. Ben Affleck said it without saying it. Henry Cavill said it. So once all the actors say that, I have to believe them, but I don't believe it's gonna make it that much better.
And I would have stayed believing them when I heard each one of them come out and say that his version of the movie exists and there's a different version of the movie and blah blah blah. If it wasn't for the fact that once he got the green light to finish his movie, he hoodwinked Warner Brothers to finish his movie. At first, he was like, "It's gonna cost me $30 million to finish my movie," and they were like, "All right, then here's $30 million. Go finish your movie."
Didn't they give him $80 million total for this?
Then Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller, Ray Fisher, Henry Cavill, and Ben Affleck were like, "Well, we ain't coming back to shoot no extra scenes for you, bro."
But they came back and shot the extra scene.
No, they didn't. None of them came back.
Okay.
So then what does Zack Snyder do? Zack Snyder decides that I'm already in deep, so let's keep on going. He goes, "Fine, I'm gonna get Jared Leto to come be the Joker in my movie. I'm gonna go get Dude Buddy from True Blood, who was the werewolf, to be Deathstroke in my movie."
Al Seed.
Whatever. Either way,
Al Seed.
He's like,
he's the second greatest character in True Blood. Al Seed.
I mean, he goes, "I can't get Justice League members to come back for my movie, so I'm just gonna add a bunch of other people into this movie to try to round it out." And then instead of hitting rock bottom and stop digging, he grabs the shovel and throws it to the side and gets a backhoe to keep digging. Because then he's like, "Oh, turns out Warner Brothers, I need another $40 million to finish my movie." So now the movie costs $70 million to finish up this done movie that supposedly Zack Snyder had done. It was good. According to him, it was finished. But now it's costing $70 million to finish. Then you brought in 3 new actors to shoot new scenes, and then he shoots himself in the foot and goes, "I'm not gonna use any of the footage that Josh Whedon shot." But yeah, you can't get the 6 main actors to come back, but you're not gonna use. So where's the Justice League gonna be at in this movie if you ain't gonna use none of the stuff that Josh Whedon shot, and you can't get none of them to come do reshoots? So what are we actually getting? $70 million.
Here's the thing, though. There were scenes that were cut.
Here you go.
That they replaced with Josh Whedon scenes. So they got a lot of stuff. I'm not saying that he had a finished
4
movie.
hours of what?
I mean, hey, ain't no telling.
We're gonna get. There's gonna be the opening scene. And there's going to be 45 minutes of Dark Side because the actor.
What if you end up liking it?
I doubt it. There's going to be.
I just said, what if you end up liking it?
If I end up liking it, I will wholeheartedly come on here and apologize. Like, you know what?
Hey, you can best believe we're gonna do a review show of this now. We're gonna do a review show of this. Yeah, you might well just go and get
it. But the odds of me watching his 4-hour movie and me liking it are the same odds as Joe Biden coming out tomorrow and saying every black person in America is going to get reparations.
That's the long shot.
But you know what, though? I'm going to tell you like this. I said the same exact thing going into Logan. And I came back on this show after I watched Logan, and I was like, hey, I was wrong.
That was the I think we call that one the Eat Crow show. Yeah,
I was wrong.
I knew I was gonna like Logan because really after what the second Wolverine, there was really wasn't a whole lot of once you're at the bottom, most people go up, unlike Zack Snyder. But
well, I want to get back to the blueprint thing, right? It's not even we can't even really say that Marvel laid the blueprint for success because DC animated series and their movies laid out the blueprint for everything way before the MCU.
This is I bring it up at least twice a year. If I was at DC Warner Brothers, I would simply walk over to my animated division and say, "Hey, I'm pulling you off of this. I'm pulling you off of that. I'm pulling you off of this. I want y'all to do the writing for this movie." Because they seem to get the shit right. I think maybe 2 or 3 of the movies are like horrifically bad, but it's like far few in between to find a DC animated movie that's pretty bad. It's far few in between. You have far less of those than you do.
But it's hard to go from animation to doing a live action movie.
Live action, yeah, because you're dealing with personalities at the same time on set.
Not even that. When you're going from a comic book to an animated movie, you literally can go from page to screen because all you're doing is you're drawing the art that you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? You essentially are copying it and making it move. You can use the exact same bright colors, same costumes, exact same dialogue. You don't really have to change much of nothing. If you watch Superman, Batman, Apocalypse, it's the Jim Lee story from the Superman, Batman, Supergirl story arc, almost page for page when you watch it. But you can't do that with live action. You can't get that same look and feel from a comic book to a lot. It's really, really hard to get that same look and feel in a live action movie. You know what I'm saying? You can't get an actor who looks exactly like Batman in the comic book to be Batman on the screen. Because look at all the different Batman we've had.
True, but you can get passion behind it.
You can get passion, but unfortunately,
that's what made MCU worked.
I don't know, man. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was kind of bad.
Yeah, and that's
Thor 2 was.
But
Age
once again, we're not gonna have perfect movies out there. We can throw Iron Man 3 in there too.
Man, look, I've always said that Marvel doesn't know how to make a trilogy. Because think about it, there's no good trilogy. None of their movies.
I disagree.
In 10
Captain
years,
America.
Civil War was not a Captain America movie. That was Avengers 2.5.
I don't care what it was. I'm going by what the title said.
Come on!
And it's a trilogy.
It was not, and it wasn't even a true Civil War. Because this goes back to Marvel not owning all their characters, so they can't use everybody.
We can't even say that though, because we already know that it wasn't a true trilogy. A true Civil War, because they didn't have everything. Just like this, not going to be the true Multiverse of Madness. You know what I'm saying? We can't get a true House of M as of right now, but it can lead up to it. You know what I'm saying? Like
they could get a lot closer than they could a few years ago. They got the X-Men.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can get closer, but that's shoulda, coulda, wouldas. You know what I mean? It was still a good movie, and it was a Cap movie.
Civil War was nothing more than a vehicle to introduce Black Panther and Spider-Man,
and it worked.
But it wasn't a good Captain America trilogy. It does not. You cannot tell me Civil War was as good as Winter Soldier or First Avenger.
It was a good movie.
It was a movie.
It was a good movie. You might be the only one on the panel who think that movie wasn't good, bro.
What's that? Which one?
Captain America Civil War. Where they introduced Spider-Man into the MCU, they introduced Black Panther into the MCU. You cannot say that movie was not a good movie.
In my head, I'm thinking he's talking about Winter Soldier, and I'm like, no, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier was a masterpiece, but
man, wasn't it?
You can't say that Captain America was not a good movie. Not Captain, but Civil War wasn't a good movie because it wasn't a true Civil War. It was a great Civil War movie for what they had to use.
It was a good movie, but I do not consider it a true Captain America movie, which means, to me, Captain America didn't get a trilogy. Just like Iron Man don't got a trilogy. Spider-Man done tried how many times and still ain't got a good trilogy? Like Blade didn't get a good trilogy.
Yeah, but they haven't even done trilogy. They haven't even done the third movie for the MCU for Spider-Man, so how can you say that?
come on, man. Historically, Spider-Man don't do well going towards
historically, they weren't done by Marvel. They were done by Sony. So we can't compare Sony and Fox to what the MCU was doing.
Homecoming doesn't give us that much hope because Homecoming was basically Iron Man 4. It was the Iron Man eulogy.
I still enjoyed the movie.
It was what, Chris? The what?
It was the Iron Man eulogy.
That's fine.
It was still all about Iron Man. It wasn't a Spider-Man.
True. We might not agree on the premise of the movie, but the movie was still good and it's still titled Spider-Man, and that's what I'm gonna go by, bro.
Just title it Spider-Man don't mean it. That's not
Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame were one movie, but they had two different subtitles.
So Chris,
so it's 4 movies.
I'm going to V-line it from this. I'm going right back to the topic of tonight's show, which is We Told You So. Chris, have you had a chance to watch WandaVision?
I have seen the reviews for. I haven't watched it, but I've seen that it finally does what people have been wanting it to do, which is what we said they needed to do, which was wait, because the show was going to give you what you wanted. Let's just be real. This is what the MCU does. It took them 10 years to give us Endgame and for us to hear Captain America say Avengers Assemble. I don't know why, like you said last week, man, I don't know why nobody expected the first 2 episodes of WandaVision to be all-star spectacular. Like it's a slow burn.
People were out there, they were looking for Galactus to come over a mountain.
Man, they were expecting Magneto to sit down for dinner.
Yeah, I'm just like, bro.
It was crazy.
I'm just like, at what point does this shit stop? I know it's not, but you're gonna have to. I mean, it's like when Winter Soldier and Falcon come on, bro. Right. It's gonna take time for whatever they got going on.
Yeah,
that shit's probably gonna be tied up in the Hydra and everything else.
It should.
People. It's the casuals. I keep telling you, like I said earlier, it's the casuals. The casuals, they're giving me a headache because they come out and they turn around, they say this stuff, and even these writers, even these reporters. I've seen article all last week from last Friday to this Thursday. They said that WandaVision was the worst show that Marvel has put out. I said, well, hell, apparently somebody hadn't watched Hellstrom. Yo, y'all forgot that was on, didn't you? Oh, all y'all folk that claim
I still ain't watched it.
Yeah,
I still ain't watched it.
I'm not gonna watch it. All y'all folk that say all y'all Marvel folk that y'all so-called know this shit didn't even know Hellstrom was sitting over there on Hulu. But they bypassed Hellstrom and went to WandaVision and said that WandaVision was the worst show that Marvel ever put out. Now I'm sitting there just like, are you serious? Mm-hmm. Now we go through some 1970s TV shows if y'all know the worst ever.
And we talked about that last week.
Yeah,
Clear Shield, Captain America. Man,
yeah,
Woo.
The frisbee.
Woo. So, I mean, at some point, I want to start seeing the apology tour. Well, I'll go in the words of Al. I don't want to hear him say nothing because y'all sat there and y'all don't stop.
We already know. I'm literally looking. I'm going to, and people in the group, people in the chat, people on Facebook, they already know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I can't wait to the end of WandaVision because I'm going to be going over posts in this group with the finest of the fine-tooth combs. Just to see if somebody gonna stick their foot in their mouth or attempt to take it out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
choke on that humble pie.
That show, right. I've watched it twice. I've watched it twice. That tells you all you need to know. I had to go back and watch it twice. I was so damn good. I was like, damn, man, crap. I gotta wait the next week, and it's been a while.
Chris, you say you haven't seen it yet, right?
No, I'm middle of episode 2.
Oh man, I gotta watch what I say then because I ain't trying to spoil nothing.
Yeah, I plan to watch it tomorrow, either later tonight or tomorrow to finish up.
I need you to catch up. Like, I'm not being funny, but like for real, I need you to catch up because
we need
some stuff.
It does what we were expecting it to do. It picks up and answers questions and.
Not only did it pick up, I mean, it ties it directly into the MCU. Like you watch, it's things that you're gonna see when you get to watch it that you've seen in other movies. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you'll see like it makes more sense. And I applaud them for the way that they did it too. And for them to do it in less than an hour is amazing. And no, it's still no action. Still, I think the biggest piece of action we got in this episode was a flashback. It's a flashback of something that happened in episode 3. I'll just say that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, you could actually skip next week's episode and go to the 3 and go straight.
No,
don't do that.
No, you gotta watch episode 3.
Right. Gotta watch how the story unfolds.
Yes,
because you will be completely lost if you skip episode 3 and watch 4. You'll lose a lot of plot line.
So we're gonna pause it there because we don't want to spoil it.
Right.
So all right, we're gonna move on to our other topic. I forgot the other character. Maybe one of y'all already know, but Static Shock, the old cartoon series, will be coming to HBO Max. I want to say if it might have been this week. It's either this week or next week.
It starts after the 1st.
So
that's
after Monday. So yeah, it's coming week. So and also that's a prelude to we're going to be doing for the month of Black History. We're going to be doing Black History themed shows, and next week's show will be some of our favorite movies that are in the comic world that deals with African Americans. I already know what my number 1 is. Before I even tell you, I'm not even gonna blow it. So yeah, but if you watch this long enough, you should already know what most folks number 1 gonna be.
I'm just gonna say Jared Nomack.
Yeah, so
that's all I'm gonna say.
So
that's the biggest hint and clue I can give you right there as far as my favorite.
So that'll be next week's show. But I'm glad to see that Static Shock is getting some love. I'm glad to see that HBO is really bringing these shows and putting them on there, man. Because that was our gripe with DC, with the DC universe. It was only on a few places that you had access to it. Right. And then it's crazy how slow they rolled out everything and how quick HBO is like, everything is on HBO.
The thing is, what they were doing on DC Universe was, especially with the animated stuff that they kept putting out, was they were trying to capitalize on DVD and Blu-ray sales and ticket sales. You know what I'm saying? So they wanted to get all the money they could before they decided to put it on the streaming service. But due to the pandemic, it shows that they're still gonna make plenty of money just by putting stuff on the streaming service.
But you also got to look at it, HBO is owned by AT&T, just like Warner Brothers is. So it's one of those situations where they learned from that mistake. They brought out DC Universe, and DC Universe rolled out slow. Because I was wondering, I got DC Universe when it first came out, and they were just, there was no app for Xbox or for the PlayStation, or you could only watch it on the Roku or on your laptop, which is where I watched the first season of Titans.
Or a Fire Stick.
Or a Fire Stick, right?
Not Fire Stick.
And then eventually, they rolled it out, and then they started adding on stuff. But again, though, I think the difference was also with it being so new, they didn't have the server backup to be able to do everything. Whereas HBO has been around for a minute, so they've got that money to back up and be like, you know what, we need to slap up 30,000 servers to hold all this stuff, because DC Universe kept rotating stuff out. Depending on what it was, like show would be on there for a while, and then it would get rotated out, and then you wouldn't see it. And then as far as the movies, if it came out on Blu-ray, it would come out on digital first, and then Blu-ray and DVD, and then they had to wait, and then eventually it would drop on DC Universe. There were people who waited to see the Turtles and Batman, but
get out my head, bro. Get out my head. I was just gonna say that.
Because the Turtles are owned by Nickelodeon, they couldn't drop. So you had to go buy the DVD for that one because it was just never gonna happen.
And I can't wait till they decide to go ahead and put that on there. I just want to watch Batman and Shredder fight. Both fights. I just want to watch that again.
That first fight was so epic.
Especially the first one. Yeah.
That first fight was just.
I want to make a correction too. Next week's show will deal with Black superhero movies across all genres. So that means karate, anything. If it's a Black hero, anything. I just want to make sure. Just want to make sure that was put out there. So that's what we'll be talking about.
Wait. So that even includes Eddie Murphy's Vampire in Brooklyn?
vampire, and Brooklyn. Everything is on the table next week.
I got a question. Can I consider the program? You know, even though the main star of the movie was the Joe Kane, but the rest of it was basically based around Darnell Jefferson and Halle Berry and Alvin Mack.
That's true.
All
That is very
genres.
true. Hey, man said all genres. There you go.
All genres.
It's all on the table.
All on the table next week.
Death by Temptation is my pick.
So, also, Rockstar these days because they milk the shit out of Grand Theft Auto 5.
They're still milking it.
And, I mean, hell, they just that game, of 12-year-old game. 12-year-old game. They are still milking
Has
that.
it really been out 12 years?
It seems like it.
Yes, it was out on PlayStation 3.
Was it?
Yes. That's how old the game is. It's been on.
Yeah,
Grand
Theft Auto 5 was
PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and about to be on PlayStation 5.
Only reason I ask is I don't play it, so
yeah. Oh yeah, I know. Trust me, I have been milked.
The last one I played was whichever one you can put the code in to be on the motorcycle, and I don't know if that was 1 or 2.
Vegas, that was either San
City.
Andreas or Vice City.
That's Vice City.
That was what, the second one?
Yeah, Vice City.
And the only reason I played it was just to do stunts on the bike. That was it. I ain't played no story, no missions, just the bike.
Rockstar Games, it was a leak this week that they may actually be bringing back Bully. That's a property I hadn't seen in 23 years.
That's been a minute.
Yeah, so they're talking about bringing out. Look, personally, hey, all children, please cover their ear, because I'm gonna drop a bomb. I don't give a fuck about anything unless it's Grand Theft Auto 6. That's what you need to be showing me. It is 2021. Where the fuck is Grand Theft Auto 6? I don't want to hear this bullshit about y'all ain't got no maps. I'm looking at. I can pull it up right now on this TV behind me. I can show you. If y'all can put all that shit in Grand Theft Auto Online, y'all can turn that into a regular mode. Y'all can. They could have been putting out games instead of putting out these extra maps, man.
That's where Grand Theft Auto 6 is.
I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead, brother.
That's where Grand Theft Auto 6 is. They putting all that work into Grand Theft Auto 5 online.
It's like Street Fighter 7.
Yeah. Street Fighter 45.
They might as well not even make a 6. Just go straight to 7 or 8.
Yeah.
All this DLC they got for that. So yeah, it's the same type deal.
Yeah. DLC. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. So I really don't care much about anything that Rockstar's talking about coming out with if it's not Grand Theft Auto. If it's not Grand Theft Auto 6, hell, it's so bad, X, that I would take Grand Theft Auto Vice City HD updated with, it's
completely off subject. I just read your name, and I agree.
Oh yeah,
I agree. I was just talking about that to somebody the other day, but man.
The rumor is they were supposed to bring it back this summer when the movie came out, but they delayed it. So I don't know if they're gonna still release the drink back out. But I'm gonna buy it. I know last time they released it some years ago. I bought like 2 cases of 2 pallets of it.
We might get it when the new Ghostbusters movie come out.
Yeah, the real Ghostbusters come out. It's kind of
we don't talk about the
real Ghostbusters. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto. That's all I want to see, man. I don't see anything else.
What y'all gonna do if they reference the women in the new one?
Good for them, but I
highly doubt they're gonna do that.
Yeah.
I highly doubt they're gonna do that.
I know one thing. They need to thank Halloween for how they did theirs, because without Halloween, the new Halloween showing that a 20 or 30 year sequel could work, they wouldn't be able to do it.
CBSI should just change their list to the top 10 Star Wars books.
Man, I'm telling you.
Every week, Star Wars. Chris, did you go to the store this week?
Yeah.
Did you see this in the store? I hadn't even seen this. The Star Wars, that second print of High Republic.
It wasn't even that good.
I mean, I have this book came out of the gate for $20.
Yeah, and jumped straight to $20.
Yeah, out of the gate.
And the only reason that I can see that it did is because it establishes a new timeline for the Star Wars universe. In the beginning of the book, in the opening of the book, they actually have a timeline, and High Republic actually takes place like 30 some odd years or whatever before Phantom Menace. So now there is an entirely new Star Wars timeline for when all the movies actually happen. And High Republic is now the actual start of the Star Wars timeline. It goes High Republic and everything else that's going to happen in that. And then it goes into episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. And Clone Wars and all the other stuff.
So this takes place. Okay, all right, I got you. But hey, so much for certain people saying there are not really any Star Wars keys out there.
Man, please. That
Every week is a new key. Oh, Lord Jesus.
Yeah, man. And I think it's because that one came out with, I think, like 10 different variant covers, aside from the regular variant. And then the only one that looked cool to me was the Yoda cover. That was the only one that actually looked interesting.
Yeah, I don't even collect Star Wars books, and I almost picked that one up, or ordered it.
Yeah.
So for those who have been with us on the comic book circuit, when we go out to these shows, and Larry, who is vastly approaching welding status, I know you watching, you laugh. Larry will tell you, and Derek, I'm not sure if Derek's in the chat or not. Derek will tell you, you go with us to these shows. I have seen New Mutants 98, and you've seen this. New Mutants 98, 9.8, 300, 400, 200, 300, 400, 200, 300, 400. And I kept saying, if people want to buy this book, this is the time to buy this book.
I sure wish I would have bought it then.
Vastly underrated, vastly undervalued price. Well, now here we go. New record of $1,620 for a 9.8.
That is ridiculous.
And it is solely based off of Deadpool coming to the MCU.
Well, that's another one of those books. You know how sometimes I reference that you get that double pop, like this is a classic example. You get a book that was the first appearance, and then for some strange reason it shows back up, and you get it again. It's like Tomb of Dracula. Initially when Blade came out, even back then it took a little bit of a bump, and then now he comes back out again. But because Marvel's name is tied to it, then boom, that's now you got a book that's gonna go stone crazy. Because I can guarantee you, if it's 1620 right now, and there's no acknowledgement of that, they're getting ready to release a new property with him. Of course, they're gonna do something, but it's not imminent. When it's announced, this book it. Hey, everybody, you write this date down, and then you come back and you
181.
Yeah. This book will be $3,200 within 2 years. You mark my words.
Like, I don't know if you heard, but Hope 181 finna skyrocket the minute they confirm Wolverine is in the MCU.
If a 6.5, me and Will checked yesterday. I was down at our LCS. That book at a 5.5 goes for almost $4,600. That's a 5.5.
That you caught a hell of a steal.
You would have got laughed at back in the day if you tried to ask for that kind of money for a 5.5. But that's where it's at.
People just buying whatever they can get their hands on.
Right.
Subject C, Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16. Knew this was going to happen. For those who didn't watch Captain Marvel, you should have already been trying to get this book. This book was talked about years ago as well. The first appearance of Monica Rambeau. Well, what happens here? This book goes from $600 to $1,000 based off of yesterday's episode. Well, the last couple of episodes for WandaVision. You could have found this book in dollar bins.
You know what's crazy? You know what's so crazy is that I thought the book would have skyrocketed after Captain Marvel when they showed Photon on the side of her jet.
You'd have thought, but most people don't know. Them casuals, they don't know. Without an actual name attached, they don't know code names. You gotta get them real names, secret identities.
Yeah. Here we go. House of M is in the building. House of M. Hey, House of M is in the building. Look at this. $50. This is a dollar book. This is a book that was being given away. How many times have we seen this book in long bins? I've seen this book in long bins, left, right, and center. Quarters, dollars, 50s, giveaway. I mean, just bag and boy.
They're using it for stuffing it when they send you your Amazon stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they were giving this away. $60, now it's $100 book.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All my folks that's watching, you expect, go get your Secret Invasion. Go get them.
Yep.
It should have been had it after whatchamacallit. Yeah, Captain Marvel, yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes people need a primer. Hey, the Comment Hall and Roundtable Discussion is telling you, hey, if you want to get in on Secret Invasions, if you want to get in on these scrolls, if you want to get in on Fantastic Four, if you want to get in on X-Men, your ass better be running like it's on fire.
Nah, you should have did it years ago.
Well, I can tell you this: you still got a chance to get X-Men books, but the window. The window is closing. It's closing quickly, and you better get them because you won't be able to obtain them when they get announced.
Right, you can. You just gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be happy about it.
Yeah, right. You won't be happy about it. So that's mainly the most major books on there. And this series here, man, is gonna be something serious when they decide on.
Oh man.
Yeah, when that decides to get to the screen, this is like one of those saga type deals where this is you just wait when it hits. It's gonna be lights out when it does hit.
It's gonna be controversial when it does. I will say that.
Yeah,
it is gonna be worth it when it does because it is one of those comics that was a sleeper hit.
You know what upsets me when like books like Kill or Be Killed is still one of the most underrated stories out there. You know what I'm saying? And that story by itself was beautiful. From issue to issue, it was just amazing, and it's still slept on by so many folks, and it ain't getting the love that it's supposed to.
Right.
You know, hell, that book right there opened up. It paved the way for other books like that. Then took it a little further. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad because, like I said, that story was amazing.
Yep. So books like Saga, man, those are books that you like. Saga, 7 to Eternity, Kill or Be Killed. I'll say it again. Kill or Be Killed is one that you better go grab because if that's turned into a TV show, it's gonna be a damn good one. So you better get it.
It had to be on Amazon in order to get the full effect of it, though.
Yeah.
Amazon or HBO, something like that. They could do true R-rated episodes.
So they can give it true justice.
All right, let's roll over to our other list on cover price. This is the Hot Comics and Fantastic Four, $367 there. We've got Star Wars 6, which was $1, a book that you could have found for nothing back in the day. Another Dark Horse. Xavier, I found this over when I was LCS's I paid $5 for it twice. I paid $5 for this book. It's going up. This was in dollar bins at one point. Spider-Man. Yeah, Kane the Conqueror. You can always find a couple of Kane books in your loan boxes. Savage Dragon. I'm gonna say it again. Savage Dragon. Issues 100 to 253 are all in play. You better go pick, especially anything from 100 to 179. Those are the hardest ones to find. So if you can find those, get them. Was X-Men X-Force 15? X-Force 15. Did y'all see that the Wolverine blue hologram variant? Did y'all see what that went for this week?
No.
$1,600. 9.
What?
Yep, the Blue Era variant. I've seen that book several times. Never thought anything about it. It's like X said, it was mass printed.
I mean, why
so
would
I
you?
didn't even. Yeah, it was mass printed, so I never even thought about it. So this is a book that I wanted to get my hands on. I've seen it 1 or 2 times. But The Great Race. I can't remember if that's the first one, or the second one.
I thought you had that book.
No, I didn't, man. I got like the third one. I want the main one.
But I thought you picked that book up at a show one time.
Nah, it was like too much, man. It was like $175. I had it in my hand. I put it back. Here we go. Ninja Turtles. We got Kylo Ren. Yeah, this is another one. I bought. Remember, I got this at I don't know if you was with me. That thing might have been Larry. And I think I got this book slab for like $50. And I couldn't believe I was getting that book slab.
Looks like the Toxic Avenger right there.
Miss Marvel said him. This is another one of those books that sat. Dark Horse Comics, Batman Year 3. I mean, how many times have we seen that?
Man, that book
around doing nothing.
That book is shooting up so fast.
Moon Knight.
And people not even reading it.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't even know what's going on in the book. It's just somebody said it's a hot book, need to get it. And next
People
thing you
just buy
know.
it.
Yeah.
Department of Truth number 5. $10 book. Good read. $10 book. Spawn. I mean, if you just not waiting to get Spawn number 1, you need your ass kicked 2 times.
Yeah.
I mean that's that you could have got that book. That grab bag giveaways, man. Yep. Most of those Spawns you could find. I mean, I've seen that 2 or 3 different times in boxes, just sitting in there for pennies on the dollar. Spawn is something that I told folks, man, that you if you can get you some late run Spawns and those 100 to 200s, I say go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of amazing to see some of these books. God, this is one of Al's favorite books. God Loves, Man Kill. Why the Captain Marvel second print? Hey, Remo, which one are you talking about, brother? I have to figure out which second print you're talking about. Right offhand.
That's right. All it takes is just somebody just to mention it somewhere for there to be even the slightest hint that it's going to be something.
Yeah. I think you're talking about
book just skyrocket.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up here. So I'm not sure if he's talking about that one or he's talking about the Kamala Khan Captain Marvel, which is usually the one that's the one that's like astronomical price. Future Toy finally getting some love. I'm actually glad to see that. Future Toy has been sitting in boxes for years. $13 book. Inhumans. This one is the one I keep telling people. Inhumans is the shit show, but it needs to go back up. Let me see. Go back up.
Higher than that one.
Oh,
yeah.
I wanted to be talking about this one. Yeah, I wanted to be talking about that one. This is actually the first.
Wasn't it a different color?
Which one? This one?
The second printing, wasn't it a different color of that one?
Let's find out. Let's go. Let's see. These are Captain Marvel 22. Captain Marvel 22.
Oh, 22. Okay.
22. All right. Pull up. Let me see. Let's check. See, here on the Comment Hall and Roundtable Discussion, we go through with our guests and we hunt this stuff down together. Let's see here. Let's go. Captain Marvel.
With a V. Victor.
New series. So it's surely you talking about that one. Surely you can't be talking. Surely you're not talking about this one. Remo, get on this panel with us. The Mastodon is in the building. Yeah, check your inbox, Remo. Check your IG. I dropped the link in there, man. Hop on here with us.
You see they're changing Captain Marvel up once again. She's getting magical powers in the new run that's about to start in the new story arc. They get a costume change, and she's gonna get magical powers.
And they had to do something better. Well, something to bring it back after that horrible movie.
I mean, you know,
Remy will have to hop up on this panel.
it is what it is.
Oh, Nick Fury don't trust nobody because a flirkin scratched his eye. Get out of here, man.
Yeah, Jessica Jones. That was, those Jessica Jones books went down, and then you could have got those for little nothing because they kind of tapered off. Yeah, that went up after the trailer. I remember seeing that. That was $1 book. I remember when God of War, God of Thunder was little nothing.
Right.
This was another undervalued book. I kept telling people Venom was in there. Oh man, that's not Spider-Man 300. I was like, well, Venom's in there. All that was going on, and that is pretty much about it. Let's see any large gainers for this week. Let's see if there's any large gainers for this week in our top key comics. MODOK is up there. MODOK.
That comic is.
This is if y'all want one of Matt's recommended books to go get, that went down that you go get it, this would probably be it. 45 would probably be the one that I would say go get. 48, 49 is you missed the boat. But this one is still a little undervalued because the show was so bad.
Isn't Demon in a Bottle starting to spike again?
Yeah. Yep. And there's Al's book.
Long shot.
Please, y'all, what is so great about that X-Force 2?
Deadpool's on the cover.
That's it.
I mean, that's pretty much about it, man. Deadpool and that supposed to, let me see.
Number 2? You had just scrolled past it.
You talk about X-Force number 2?
Yeah. I remember Deadpool being on the cover of that one, the black dude. I haven't read that book so many times, I still don't know what the significance of it is.
I am on those, man. I'm so fatigued on that whole when Deadpool was out.
I had so many copies of that book. Man. A couple of them I cut up and made some stuff out of like paper mache with that comic book.
All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get out to our halls. I've got 2 strong books tonight, y'all. I got 2 strong, and that's it. 2 strong books. Oh, Deadpool.
That's just what he's showing.
That is right. Deadpool second appearance. No, I just got some stuff I ordered from months ago. Y'all have all showed all this stuff that y'all got. So it's basically the same thing. I don't even want to open it up.
What? Is that still the AOK from G-Man? Oh.
This is stuff that's like that Al and everybody else have gotten from the stores, even Batman.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
No, I showed you.
Like, you got now I was finna say you got a second one? What?
No, okay, no.
What?
We have Prodigy, the Albuquerque variant. This is the black and white cover. And we have Abbott, the Abbott number 1. And I picked that up.
Nice cover.
Nice cover. That's it, man. That's it. Chris, what you got, bro?
I only got a few books this week. I swung in and picked up my stuff from Future State, picked up Dark Detective number 2. Had to get the variants. I finally did read Shazam, and I gotta say, it was really good. I give Al's boy props. They did a really good job with the Future State Shazam comic book. Future State Aquaman number 1.
Is it still Billy Batson?
It is still Billy Batson, but they did something I have actually never seen them do with Billy. So it was and his is one of the few Future State comics that doesn't have a comic in the back of it. It's all just a Shazam story, so it's not like 2 stories in one. Superman versus the Imperious Rex, number 1. I'm really interested in this one. This is one of the ones I'm interested in, the Legion of Superheroes. Because I've never been a big Legion fan until Legion Millennium. I read it, and then when Superman's son joined them, I started reading that a little bit. Because to me, the Legion of Superheroes just a bunch of useless nobodies.
Wasn't that an homage cover?
I think so, but I can't remember to what. And that's what's been bugging me since I picked it up. It's trying to remember what they were doing it for. Batman Superman #1 in Future State. And the comic I am most excited about that dropped this week was Suicide Squad #1 for Future State. Because in this story, it's still Amanda Waller running the Suicide Squad, but she basically got a bunch of evil justice. She basically has like the crime syndicate as her Suicide Squad in Future State. She's got a Batman, a Superman, a Wonder Woman, Aquaman, the Martian Manhunt, and all them as her Suicide Squad. And I am extremely interested to see how that pans out because it looks really dope. But that's it for me, though. That's all. It was just light this week.
All right.
I got a few. I'm about on the same level as Chris. Where most of mine are gonna be Future State, but got Dark Detective, got the A cover, also got the variant, and I went ahead. Well, actually, that's it for Future State. I got the Batman Adventures Continues, got the B cover, and got the A cover. Got Batman Black and White #2 with Volume 3 #2. And my last one was The Other History #2. So
I am still on the fence about that after Sean gave it a bad review.
You know, I have not read it yet. I was like, well, I got the first one. I said I got the first one. Hey, you got somebody black on the cover, I'm gonna go ahead and get it.
Go ahead and get it right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to get
can't blame me on that.
I'm having a little trouble over here on my end trying to get it all sorted out. Oh, there we go. That's it. That's it for tonight's show. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Once again, make sure you check us out next week. It's going to be a special Black History show. We're going to be doing the entire month Black History themed shows. So we'll probably dabble into a few other topics, but mainly the show's going to be centered around that. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell everyone, tell all. Sorry we got started a little bit late tonight. For Matt, Chris, and X, we are out. Have a good one. Haul video coming this week. Stay locked in. We're out. Have a good night.